Appreciate everybody being here. As I mentioned, I actually wasn't on the meeting last month. Brett had hosted it, but we are excited to have Amanda Jones with us today from Pop Promos. We did a quick meeting yesterday with Amanda to kind of like review what we would go over today, and we're excited. We were excited before, but I think Brett and I a lot of times we get even more excited after, just because we get a refreshed look at what they've got to talk about. So we've worked with Pop Promos for a couple of years now. I know Brett has done a ton with them. I have some clients that do some things with them as well. I think that some of the highlights that I'm excited for you guys to see and hear today is just they've kind of carved out a niche in our space with just really fully custom items. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to steal her thunder, but there's just some levels of customization that you're going to see here and some options that are kind of outside of the ordinary for what you might be used to in our industry. And quality is great, and there's just a lot of fun stuff that you're going to see. So with that, I want to go ahead and turn it over to Amanda. I don't want to waste too much more time having people listen to me. So Amanda, take it away. And we will, just a reminder really quick, obviously we will jump in, ask questions, and anybody here, please jump in, unmute, ask questions, hit the chat for some questions. If you have those, we can do it that way as well. So
and then I have also shared a link to the Pop Promos website in the chat box. So anybody that wants to click on that, just kind of peruse around the site a little bit while she's also going through a presentation, feel free to do that. And again, ask questions as they come up.
Very good.
Great. Well, thank you both for the lovely intro. Like they said, we're here to answer any questions, so feel free to interrupt or throw things in the chat. But I will go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Okay. Did that show up okay? Okay, great.
All good.
So as Landon mentioned, I'm going to get into kind of who Pop is and talk to you guys about how you can really elevate your brand with custom products and everything we do here at Pop. But before I jump right in, brief intro to me. My name is Amanda. I am the account executive at Pop Promos, and I work with Goodson, and I've been with Pop for 5 years. Absolutely love it. On the agenda today, we're going to kind of get into why you might want to choose custom, how our creative services here at Pop can really help elevate your brand, bring it to life, and help you understand what custom can mean for your brand. I'm going to touch on some of our sustainability efforts and recycled products and everything we're doing kind of in that realm. And then, of course, we'll get into a little bit about our product line. I'll help kind of walk through our website, how to best utilize that. And then at the end, if you guys stick around, I have a nice little sample kit offer that I'll go over. And hopefully we can get some nice free fun samples in your hands. You can kind of see the quality for yourself of some of our top selling products. So we'll get into that at the end. Again, feel free to interrupt at any time if you have questions, comments, whatever. Okay, so first, I'm going to go over a little bit about who Pop Promos is. I'm sure that name means pretty much nothing to a lot of you, but in the industry, we are very proud of who we are here at Pop. We essentially call ourselves a quick turn custom supplier. So what that means is every product in our line is completely made from scratch when you place your order with us. So in doing that, we're able to Pantone match all of our products, do really cool full color edge to edge printed designs on our products. And you'll see a lot of examples as I go through my presentation today. But that essentially really is what helps Pop stand out amongst other suppliers, is that we are custom making everything to order. We're not actually holding stock or inventory of our products here. So it's not like we have a slew of black products and we're slapping a logo on it and sending it off to you. It's truly being cut and sewn and dyed from scratch for you when you place your order with us. Just a few key things to keep in mind as well. The minimums for our product line across the board range from about 100 to 250 pieces, depending on the exact product. And production times range anywhere from about 3 to 6 weeks. Our sweet spot being right around 4 weeks, so around a month, to produce your product and get it shipped out of our office in Philadelphia, where we're based. So just some good things there to keep in the back of your mind when you're maybe looking through our website or thinking about our product line. But yeah, I will now hop into a little bit more about what custom really means, and kind of why we feel, it's a really great option to choose over some other kind of typical products you might see out there in the market. So the question is, of course, really, what is in it for you to choose custom? Why go with custom options? And I have a few reasons here. These are kind of the top four, I think, key takeaways for everyone to know. So first of all, of course, is increased value. So think about, maybe our products won't be the absolute cheapest out there on the market. It might be slightly pricier option, but what you're getting out of it is a really just more higher end product, something that's truly made from scratch for you. So you're getting such a higher level of value out of the product that that you might be purchasing. And think about it this way, that all of our products are really great quality. They're made to be used time and time again. They're not made to be just a cheap throwaway that you use one time and throw in the trash and it ends up in a landfill. But with that, that's how many more times that your company logo or branding might get impressions out there in the world, because whoever these products are going to, they're going to be using them time and time again, and showing off your brand. And it's going to be a product that is made for your brand. So if you see someone carrying around a tote bag that's in your exact Pantone orange with pops of your Pantone teal color, that's gonna really grab attention and speak more to your company and your brand than maybe a cheap black bag with a screen printed logo in white that someone might use one time and end up not using it again. So kind of putting it in that perspective, that's really that higher level of value that you get with our products, knowing that, yeah, maybe it might be a little bit higher than your typical price point, but really nothing crazy, but you get so much more out of it. Couple of other things is guaranteed satisfaction. We do have a guarantee in place that if for some reason we don't match your Pantone color, or you're really unhappy with the way a design turns out, or the artwork turns out, obviously there are little hiccups that can always happen at any time when creating a product. We do have a guarantee that if you're not happy, we will remake or refund your order. And that's something that you can always, go to your Goodson team about, and then they'll talk to me about, and we'll work through it with you. We're really here to partner with you and make sure you love the product in the end. So just knowing that we have that guarantee in place. And then the last two here might sound a little bit obvious, but truly are key takeaways of when you order a custom product. You're going to have way more options. We can get so much more creative when we're dyeing and cutting and sewing something from scratch. And then, of course, we're presenting you with much stronger, unique solutions versus what you might be able to kind of just Google and find out on the market. This is something that truly is unique to you and your brand, and made specifically for you. So just some key things to keep in mind there. Okay, so now I want to jump in a little bit to what our creative services that I kind of mentioned really look like, and what that process might look like for you if you were to work with us. So essentially, to get started on virtuals and see some ideas with your company branding, all you would need to do is send the Goodson team your logo and your brand guidelines, whatever you have. And from there, we'll be able to put together really nice, beautiful decks, kind of showing you what custom can mean for your brand. So here at the bottom, you'll just see kind of some examples of how we can show your branding on really cool products. We'll do a lot of different layouts and kind of bring that to life. The cool thing about our virtual decks is that means you're seeing fully custom mockups, on a digital screen, and you can go straight from there to placing a full order if you're ready to. We of course do have the option to run like a spec sample, a branded sample for you if you wanted to. Key thing to keep in mind there is production time will maybe be like 2 to 3 weeks because we're making that spec sample from scratch, but the option is always there. But the great thing about our virtuals is it really does show your brand kind of coming to life, and you can move straight from there to placing a full order if you wanted to. And that's what our, virtuals are really there for, to help you kind of visualize what it will look like. And just diving into that a little bit deeper, we totally understand that every customer, every company is completely different, and what they're looking for might be completely different as well, which is really where our virtuals and everything can shine through. So of course, we understand that some people might be looking for something totally crazy, edgy, bright colors, while Other companies might want really kind of corporate, sleek branding, very simple, very strict guidelines. And both of those are totally great and okay. And we can show options on kind of either end of the spectrum and everywhere in between. So just keep in mind, if you're ever seeing ideas from us and you're not loving them, they're not really speaking to your brand, you can always go to the Goodson team and let them know, like, hey, I would love to maybe tone this down a bit, or maybe see something a bit crazier and more creative. And we can go back and keep showing more iterations of the designs until we really nail down something that you absolutely love and that really does speak to your brand.
One thing I was going to jump in and say, Amanda, is
Mhm.
so my view, and Brett and I talk about this a lot. Obviously, the level of custom, the more highly you can customize an item, I feel like the higher perceived value, which you mentioned, and then also just I think the more retail things start to feel,
Sure.
and we continue to just see this convergence of people's retail and personal lives with their corporate life. There used to be a pretty big gap between the two.
Yep.
And we're just seeing a lot more. I mean, people, if they like something or they like a particular way that something's designed in their, personal life, they're tending to pull that over into their business life in terms of, those products, wanting to have that same kind of feel. And then the last thing I'll say is she's talking about the design. As everyone on here knows, that our initial process would be to get your branding, your brand guides, and then have conversations about, whatever it is, kind of put together almost like a creative brief to send over so that we can direct what they're going to do in terms of putting together a deck to make sure that it's, as targeted as it can be.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with everything you said. And to speak to kind of what you said in the beginning about kind of seeing what people are actually using, wearing in their personal lives, that is where we get a ton of our inspiration for where we, design our products, is we pull from what is truly trending in retail. And a lot of that is kind of sometimes more of like a sleek design and maybe a pop of color on the inside lining, like you see with this crossbody bag. Something that people truly will use out in the real world in their day-to-day lives. And of course, then pairing that with our products being such high quality and made to be reused time and time again, it's kind of the perfect combination. So yeah, just to go off that, I definitely agree with that sentiment there. And then just to kind of like finalize that step I was talking about really honing in on what you want and what you might want to actually purchase once you see an array of ideas from us. Just to go back to that, like we can of course keep honing in more and more and, figure out what add-ons you might want to add. If you want to add, extra retail packaging, that type of thing to really elevate the product. When we get to those kind of final stages is where you'll see us really kind of like tailor the product down to what you're looking for. And here's kind of an example of that. So our sunglasses, for example, are extremely customizable. It's where Pop got its start. We really are kind of the pros in custom sunglasses. And you can really do anything imaginable. It's pretty crazy. But here's an example of where if you, go to the Goodson team and say, I'm really looking for some cool creative sunglasses in our Pantone color. Here's an example of where we might show you then like a good, better, best option. And that's certainly something we can replicate across our whole product line as well. So here you see one option that's kind of like a two-tone look. In the middle, you see something that's like a translucent kind of gradient look. And then the final one is a step and repeat full color printing on the arms. Something that's even like a little bit crazier with a full color pouch as well. So just to show you really how custom you can get and how you can kind of keep going further and further down that road of adding more customization to the product based on what you're looking for. We're here to kind of help tailor that for you and keep putting in those changes, edits, whatever you need to see to keep showing you lots of different iterations. So we really hone in on that final design you love.
Quick question, Amanda,
Yeah.
on those, just like what we're seeing here, the minimums stay the same in all these scenarios, right? So it's not like that by increasing the level of customization, I mean, the cost will increase
Yep.
a little bit based on the level of customization, but the minimum does not, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost kind of like it's like an a la carte type of situation where you'll have the base product, which would be a Pantone matched pair of sunglasses. And then from there, you can add the full color pouch. You can add full color printing on the arms, different kind of things that you keep adding on that will increase the cost a bit. But yeah, it won't be changing the minimum. So for example, sunglasses start at 250 pieces. Any of these options here, we can do at 250. But of course, the the ones on the bottom there you see will be a little bit more expensive than the ones you see all the way on the left.
And
Okay.
even I feel like in regards to going fully custom with having a 250 piece minimum, that still feels very reasonable in regards to that extremely high minimums that you oftentimes see to get a fully custom product that may start at 1,000 pieces or 5,000 pieces or something crazy.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys have been able to basically come up with a subset of a product line that can be fully customized at a lower minimum, I think is really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Thanks for that comment. I fully agree. I think that's kind of also where we stand out. Of course, there are, options out there where you can custom source a product yourself and all of that and get into the nitty-gritty of that, but the minimums typically are a lot higher, a couple thousand type of situation. Basically, we've been able to kind of really narrow down our product line, hone in on the products that we're really, really great at making. And we've made them for so many years now and have done so many orders of them that we're super confident in our abilities to create these products from scratch. And we're able to then do them at those lower quantities, which is pretty unique for a fully custom product. So thanks for pointing that out. So just to kind of bring it all home a little bit, I just would like you all to kind of imagine in your mind that Aero Solutions is your company, your brand. These are some of the brand guidelines that you shared with the Goodson team, and you're looking for ideas that will really bring this brand to life, really speak to your Pantone colors. Anyone can see that product and say, like, oh, that is Aero Solutions product. And then in return, you get back ideas like this. So this might feel a little underwhelming. Of course, these all might follow the brand guidelines, but does it really speak to your brand? Would you see that brand, that item out in public and say, oh, that's absolutely Aero Solutions with their colors? Probably not. And on the other hand, here's an example of what you would get back from us. So you definitely can see the difference there. This is kind of really what you get when you go for a custom product. A lot of the other products out there, of course, they might be great quality and great products, but many of them are, either pre-made, held in stock, and you can add a logo to them. So in comparison to ours, when it's literally cut and sewn and dyed from scratch, this is how we're able to get so custom and do all over color matching and printing and that type of thing. So
I think I shared this with you yesterday, Amanda. To
yeah.
me, this presentation really can be crystallized a lot in this slide. And,
Yeah.
and the thing I would say is, like, the previous example of mock-ups, as she indicated, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those mock-ups, and there's a time and a place for those simple approaches, and so there's nothing, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But I think this really drives the point home as to what's possible. So I love this visual a lot because I think it really makes the point well.
Yeah, thanks. And I do agree. Like sometimes there is a time and a place for just your basic product, and that's truly what makes sense for that event or that opportunity. But I think just in general, this really shows how creative you can get when you go with a custom product. Okay, and I do have, if this will let me switch over. Let's see, can you guys see this?
I know them.
I know them too. Okay, so here is just kind of an example of a deck that I put together with the Goodson logo and their branding. They shared with us their brand guidelines. We pulled some of their accent colors. So some of them are a little bit like bright in color, but just to show you kind of what you can do when you provide that type of information. So here's an example of something that you would maybe get back if you were to share your logo with the Goodson team. Going through a lot of our most popular products, newer products, just some fun stuff we've been adding to our line. A lot of times we'll throw in other kind of like layouts or flyers for upcoming, holidays or events, something like Nurses Week. Of course, this wouldn't be applicable for every company out there, but if you were maybe a healthcare company, that type of thing, this is where we would throw in some ideas that might be trending right now. So just to give you all a look. And then of course, say we were to send this to Goodson and they would say, it's a lot of yellow. Let's maybe tone it down and do more of a different accent color we have. We could of course go in and then change that, because I know this is a lot of yellow and orange colors, but this is kind of the direction our team took just to start. But yeah. So some of our fun, popular products, you can see they really do speak to the brand though. Say the yellow and the black were your two key colors. This would really kind of bring it to life. So there's just a quick example of what a deck might look like from us. And now I will go back.
And I gotta give Amanda a little bit. So she was given, this was an idea that Brett had at the kind of the last minute, which I thought was a really good idea to try to demonstrate with our brand. And she was provided our brand guidelines about 12, 14 hours ago. So, so that's, I do want to point that out. Like they did an excellent job with a very limited amount of time. And I think, you know, if they had more time to process through the brand guidelines and stuff, I think you'd see even an elevated approach to some of that. But yeah, it was excellent.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, now I do want to pause here before I jump into the rest of the presentation. Does anyone have questions on any of the, you know, virtual services, customizing, that kind of stuff that I just went through?
I told Amanda and Brett yesterday that I had a Vistage meeting last week, and they said that when someone asks a question, you're supposed to wait 14 seconds for people to respond. Now, there's science behind that apparently. So let's see. It's going to be excruciating to wait that long, probably.
That does feel like quite a long time, but we can wait.
All right, that's enough. Let's roll. Got questions popping into the chat.
Yeah,
Seven in there. You got about 7.
Yeah, got halfway there.
There we go. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go over a little bit about kind of our corporate social responsibility efforts, and you know, we at POP really care about you know, looking to launch more sustainable products in our line and continuing to grow that area of our line, and then also kind of in our day-to-day lives, just being more involved in these efforts here. So listed here are just some of the things that we've really taken on in the past few years. We actually have like a CSR committee that has a handful of our employees that run the whole committee. They meet on, I think it's like a monthly basis, and come up with different initiatives. We do a lot of different kind of community service activities, a lot of donating to local, you know, foundations and that type of thing. So if that's something that you and your company are really focused on, just know that this is also something that we truly care about here at POP. And I just kind of wanted to touch on that. And then product wise, slide. I just want to kind of touch on where some of our product lines fall into that eco-sustainable category. If you are looking to specifically purchase recycled products or eco-friendly products, we have a lot. So specifically our recycled canvas line is really popular. We've been expanding it a lot over the past couple of years. Essentially, it's a really nice, sturdy, quality canvas material that's fully printed in full color, whatever you want to do with it. And it's actually made of all recycled materials. All of our sunglasses that are made of plastic can be upgraded to be made of recycled plastic. We do have some sock styles, some beanie styles, some other items in our line that can also be upgraded to be made of recycled material as well. There's a lot there, and I can show you where to navigate to this on our website as well if you want to look into this further. But just want to hit on that it's a big focus of ours, and we have a lot of options in our line where you could choose an eco-friendly product. Here's a better kind of overview look at our recycled canvas collection, how we've really expanded that. The most popular, honestly, this year have been this crossbody bag that you see in the corner. We know that fanny packs and crossbody bags are all the trend right now. And then on the left, you see our insulated cooler bags that have been really popular as well. They come in 2 different sizes. And again, everything in this line is fully recycled materials, which is pretty cool. And just a little look at what the recycled canvas material actually is. It actually comes from recycled plastic water bottles. And here's just a little breakdown to give you some insight into how many plastic water bottles actually go into making material for each of these items here. So just something kind of interesting I like to throw in there. But of course, if you have more questions about these products, feel free to throw them in the chat or reach out to the Goodson team at a later time, and I can always help answer those as well. Okay, so that was kind of our eco-sustainable focus. I do want to touch on a little bit more of our broader product line and, you know, what those items look like as being fully custom items. So first, I thought it might be helpful to kind of take you to our website and just show you briefly how you can kind of navigate it, how you can find those kind of add-on a la carte pricing options if you do want to go yourself and kind of, come up with ideas yourself. So let's see if this loads. Can you guys see the website here now? Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep,
So-
sorry, I'm trying to find my mute button, but yeah.
No,
we're
that's
good.
all right. I just wanted to make sure. So essentially, which some of you might have gone to the website already, but when you first go to our website, you'll see our homepage. Up at the top, these kind of slides that go through are always going to be the newest products in our line. So if you're ever looking kind of for like the latest, the greatest, something new, you'll always find that here on this homepage and these slides here. Just so everyone here is aware, here at POP, we actually launch new products about every 2 weeks. So that sounds like a lot, but it's a huge focus of ours. Again, I mentioned we pull a lot of our ideas from what's trending in retail and what we're seeing is really popular now, and then trying to make a space for that in kind of the promotional world. So always new stuff to come from us. Key things to, I would say, keep in mind when you're navigating our website. This product dropdown up here is going to be really helpful. This will show our main product categories. So just as an example, if you were to go down to glasses and give it a second, this will then pull up all of the different sunglasses options that we have in our line, all the different styles. The two newest ones we just launched are up here, the Milan and the sports sunglasses. And then if you wanted to click into the product itself, this is where you'll see a lot of imagery. If you go through this slide, see some examples. And then just to show you an example of the kind of pricing model that we have here on our website, for every product, you will see there's always going to say base price includes in bold here. So that's going to be kind of what the base product includes if you were just to order that base product with none of the a la carte options added. So for example, with these sunglasses, the base product includes a frame selection. So that means basically any Pantone color for the frames, any color imaginable, and then a 4-spot color imprint on the temple area. So what you see here, this Emerald Sands logo, which is on that temple area, is all included in the base pricing as well. This one is actually only 2 colors, so it falls within that 4-spot color, location. And then of course they always come with the UV tinted lenses. So that's just an example what the base pricing includes.
Let me confirm, Amanda. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Sure.
So base pricing on these sunglasses includes a custom Pantone color for the frame. So that is included.
Yep.
And a full color print on each outside temple. Now I see these like black lines on the inside. That's just part of the design. That's not included in the print or the base price.
Exactly. So, and then I can kind of break that down. So say you weren't to have these stripes on the inside and this was just the solid teal, that would all be covered in the base pricing because it's a custom product. Basically, the base pricing for any of our products is always going to include Pantone matching and being able to add your customized logo because that's truly what we specialize in, and we're not going to upcharge you for that. And then for the example of adding stripes on the inner arms here, what you would actually do is you would scroll down to where all of the add-on options are broken out here. And you would then navigate down to the add-ons you see here where it says inner arms decoration up to 3 colors. And it might be, sorry if it's a little hard to see, but basically these are the different options. Inner arm decoration up to 3 colors is what you would do as your kind of a la carte add-on to include those 2 color stripes going down the arms. And you can see here broken out the different price points at the different quantities. So for that example, you would do that solid color frame at the top, say at $250, that starts at $475. And then you would add on the 83 cents for the inner arm printing, and that would be your total cost for this specific product design.
So let me just jump in and say, anybody like watching this that's like, am I going to be expected to sort of navigate that? No, obviously we're here to do that for you, but I really appreciate you, Amanda, kind of showing how the site is constructed.
Yep.
Should they want to do that. So, you're certainly free to do that. You can kind of get a general idea of what it might cost based on how you're thinking. You might want to customize it, but please just always remember that, we're here to work with you on getting the design done, and we'll sort of carry the water on making sure that we price it correctly. So,
yep. Exactly. Thank you for saying that. I was also going to make that point is really this is here for a tool for you to help understand the budget range and maybe what might fit in your budget and what we can do to customize it, but we would never expect you to understand how to price out every product correctly yourself. That's what I'm here for. That's what the Goodson team is here for, to make sure that you're getting the correct pricing. And I will say, sunglasses are some of our most maybe slightly more confusing products on the website. So most of them will be a little bit more straightforward anyway. But really, we keep all of our pricing on the website so that you guys truly can go to it and kind of see what options you have and price it out yourself if you want to mess around with it. It's there as a tool for you. And then, of course, we're here to answer questions and help. So that was kind of just diving into how to price things out. You can see here other product categories on the website. There is a section here for sales tools. So if you're ever looking for, high-res product images, you need flyers, artwork templates, if you want to design anything yourself, you'll find all of those tools listed here. So that might be a nice place for you guys to go. And then finally, I'll just touch on, if you ever want to learn more about POP and kind of who we are, you're welcome to navigate here and read about us. We have a thing here called Sustainability at POP. So that will dive a little bit deeper into what I mentioned about our CSR committee, our efforts in sustainability and eco-friendly products. And you can really dive in here and look at all of the different, information we have listed on our website. So just want to point that out in case anyone is interested in their free time kind of reading through that.
So something you just touched on, I thought was a really good point, and that is that there are templates available, and they, while POP offers a lot of assistance in developing the mock-ups and stuff, if you have the wherewithal or the desire to design, or we can, or you guys can, but we certainly can pull templates down and we can create the designs and they'll print what we send. So that is, that's a good point to just make sure that people understand. We don't have to rely on the POP team to do the designs.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of times, people do want to design themselves. So if you go here, you'll see all the different templates for every product broken down by category. You can actually find them linked on each individual product pages too, if you don't want to go here, or of course, reach out to the Goodson team and they'll help send you the template. Okay.
Any
So,
questions? Please remember, like, we're monitoring the chat if you want, and feel free to unmute if you got something you want to ask.
great. Thank you. So now in the last few minutes, I can just kind of run through some of our other product categories. I just want to make sure everyone's familiar with everything else we have in our line. So here's kind of a brief overview of some of our top selling categories. We do a lot of socks, winter wearables, which is our beanies, scarves, gloves, a lot of the bags, which fall within that recycled canvas collection I talked about. Pet products, believe it or not, are really big for us. A whole line of vegan leather, which is basically like a faux leather that's printed all over in full color and Pantone matched. And then we also have genuine real leather that is made from scratch, Pantone matched, and debossed with your logo for really nice kind of like high-end retail look. So this actually doesn't even cover our entire line, of course, but to give you a good overview of the top kind of categories for us.
Those full grain leather products, they're on the website, right?
Yep. So you'll find them they're called the Wilson and Riley collection. They're actually named after our two owners, Sterling Wilson and Aaron Riley, just because they're so proud of this line, and it's products that they love and use every day because they're such great quality and they're really kind of high end. So you can definitely find the full line on our website. Yep.
Really quick, just last question on those. Are the minimums on those still in that 250 range, or do they come down because they're higher priced, or is it still in that range?
Yeah, it actually does come down. It's 100 MOQ for that entire line because it is a little bit of a higher price point, but to be expected with real leather. And I will say, going off of that, there are a handful of other products that do start at 100. It tends to be those higher price point, larger items like umbrellas, duffel bags, some of our blankets, like that type of thing. Those larger items will all start at a lower minimum of 100. So everyone here, keep that in mind too. If you're looking for products at a little bit of a lower minimum, we can send you a full list of everything we're able to do at that 100-piece minimum versus the 250.
Yeah, I just noticed that the umbrella looked really cool, and it has a minimum of 50 pieces, which is awesome, and that's not overwhelming. That's a really nice looking item.
Yep. So we definitely have some exceptions in the line and things that we can make work. So always reach out if you're looking for something lower than 250. Okay, and then just to kind of run through really quickly, deeper dive into some of the lines. Sunglasses we talked about a little bit, but again, tons of styles, literally anything you can imagine being printed on sunglasses, we can do. Socks, big seller for us. The dress socks, which is going to be your like standard calf length woven sock, is the #1 top seller, but we have a ton of other styles that are really great quality. Fuzzy socks, comfort fit socks, you're looking for something that's more of an athletic or performance style, we have that as well. And we also have some really nice full color socks that are a really soft, great, stretchy, wearable material. So if you're looking for something even more kind of creative where you could do gradients, tie-dye, that type of look, and kind of go nuts with it, that's where our full color socks might come into play too.
Very,
Um,
very quick question on socks, Amanda. So that previous
Yeah.
slide that you showed, I see DTG, which would be like a full color print. Are the
Mhm.
others here essentially woven rather than printed?
Yep, correct. So
Okay.
all the other styles in our line are going to be woven. The yarn itself is actually dyed to match your Pantone color, whatever you request that we call out. And then it's going to be knit into the product itself. And then, right, for the D2G socks, they're printed direct to garment, so it's going to be full color printing. And this is where we could achieve something where it might be details that are too fine to actually knit into a sock, or really truly full color with, you know, rainbow gradients, that type of thing that wouldn't be achievable on a woven sock. That's where we have these two, the ankle sock and like the calf length. You could kind of go to those options. I do have a couple kind of case studies here too that might be interesting. I won't read through all of these, but just to kind of see how some of our products have really been successful out in the real world and where we've seen success with them. Some of the coolest things we've done with our products is get them into kind of like employee programs where they're being used for different events or sold on the online store, that type of thing. So here are just kind of 3 examples in kind of different industries where we've seen our products really perform well. McDonald's is a large client that we do a lot of products for. They put those in their like employee catalog every year. And the cool thing about our products is because they are so custom, and think about McDonald's being really specific about their colors and their branding, it's a perfect fit for what we do. And then of course, something that might be a little bit more kind of reserved, like a healthcare company like Advent Health. This is where some of our vegan leather kind of higher end retail products come into play and have been performed really well in healthcare. And then at the bottom, you see our Comfort Fit ankle socks, which have done really well for different events and runs and that type of thing. So they're more of like a sporty sock. So just some examples of how these kind of come to life in the real world and been really successful. Okay, thanks for the warning. So I know we only have a couple more minutes here. What I can do is kind of just continue through the rest of this. I won't touch on the rest of the products, but we will have this presentation shared around with everyone if you want to dive into that more. The last thing I just want to touch on while we have the time is your little free sample kit offer. So what we're offering is if you want to screenshot this slide and then send it to the Goodson team after, so they know you attended and stuck through the presentation, we will then send you a sample kit of 3 of our top sellers. So it's going to be the dress socks, which are our top selling sock style, the new silicone key rings that we have that are super nice, and then a pair of the brand new Milan sunglasses as well. So definitely don't miss out on the opportunity. It'd be totally free to you. And all you have to do is screenshot this and send it to the Goodson team. But yeah, thank you everyone for your time and for attending today. Does anyone have any other additional questions or comments while we have another kind of minute left here?
I think I'm interested to see if the AI note taker will take a screenshot and try to get some free socks. That's where I'm at with it.
We'll
Um,
see.
We'll see. Yes, we'll see. Thank you so much. This has been great. But yeah, does anybody have any questions? Should we do our 14-second timer, Landon?
I'm gonna break that rule, but no, Amanda, thank you so much for your time. I think that, and I appreciate this offer of the free sample kit. And as everyone on this call is aware, working with us, if you want samples of other items that you've seen, we're happy to do that as well. This is just kind of a way to wrap up and get something in your hands that you can touch and feel. Couple little follow-ups, and like I said, please, I'm not going to wait 14 seconds because it's awkward, but if you want to unmute and interrupt me, please do that, or put something in the chat. But just a few points of follow-up. So, I just talked about samples. You can get this kit, but any of the other things that you've seen, let us know if there's interest. Amanda mentioned spec samples and pre-production samples, which that's a little bit of inside baseball, but basically what it is a finished product printed with your branding or design with and without an order, and we can do that. And so A lot of times there's a little bit of cost and it adds some time. So if we plan well enough and you're like, hey, we know we're going to do sunglasses, but we really want to see a finished pair, you probably in general want to assume it's going to take twice as long. So if the average sweet spot is, that about 4 weeks, anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks, you're probably going to need to plan 6 to 8 weeks if we're going to have to do a pre-production sample or a spec sample. And then the last thing I'll say is that, we've been trying to really improve the post-presentation follow-up that we do. I think hope everyone here is aware that we posted on the website. We'll probably get a version of this presentation that we could post with it. We're also going to create a collection with a lot of the items that you've seen here, and then you'll probably see that in our newsletter and some of the follow-up emails that you'll get from us. But it will be posted on the website probably within a couple of weeks. If you go to goodsonsupplyco.com and click Partner Series, you'll see that there. And lastly, we've been doing this for a while now, and we really appreciate everyone taking the time to do this, but we are constantly looking for ways to improve it. So if you have thoughts, things that we need to stop doing, start doing, improve, please know that we're open to any and all of that. And you have our email addresses, or feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text message, or Brett the same, and let us know anything that we can do to make this more valuable to you, whether it's make it shorter, make it longer, you don't like seeing my face. I mean, I literally any feedback you have to make it worth your time and to be beneficial as you're trying to better engage your employees and customers, we're open to it. So Brett, you have anything you want to add?
No, bro. I think it was well said. Amanda, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you to everyone who joined. We really appreciate it, and this was great. So thanks.
Yeah. Everybody that's on here, you can look forward to next month. We have Rupt, which Amanda's probably familiar with those guys. They're kind of new to the industry, but not. The two guys that founded that company, founded a company before, and they've started a new one with a high focus on a lot of different products than what are here, but a sustainability focus. So you'll be seeing information come out on that. Amanda, thank you again. Appreciate your time and effort on this, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks
Awesome.
everybody for being here.
Thanks, guys.